We're loving and hating and making scenes. Now we just see everything we believe.
Yo, what's going on YouTube fam? This is your boy J Money here, and I'm bringing you guys sweet deck profile. Deck profile that some of you have actually been anticipating, and that is Cyber Dragons. Cyber Dragons is a deck that I have, well, played for the longest bit of ever since the Cyber Dragon Nova structure deck. So I've been playing the deck on and off. So I've definitely had years of experience with this deck, and you know, a lot of others, you know. So I got a different take on the deck and all that good stuff, and you guys will see that in just a second. But there are a lot of places, a lot of different ways to play Cyber Dragons. Cyber Dragons can be played with the Infinity Track archetype, which is surprisingly pretty synergetic. It can be played with Orchist. So if any of you guys actually want to see a deck profile of those as well, whether it be the Cyber Dragon Infinity Track or the Cyber Dragon Orchist, you know, whatnot, feel free to let me know down in the comments below, and I'll go ahead and make that happen. Now, I also did promise an actual Infinity Track deck profile with the release of nachster, because that's when the you know, the good pieces of the deck kind of came to us via dual power. So I will have that with you guys as well, and I also will have one more deck segment. I'm going to start doing, when I start working on decks, I'm going to start doing deck, just deck profile, the combos for the deck, and then test hands in a 3-part video, just to make these things a little bit more consistent, so you guys can get a little bit more depth into these decks that I like to build and play, and all that good stuff. So there is one more deck that I've been working on that I've probably hinted at in the past that I'm very, very excited to show you guys. You know, but I'll end up having to do that after Infinity Tracks and Cyber Dragons, because I really want to make sure this is right. So with all the introductions out of the way, enough of the talk. Let's go ahead and get on with this Cyber Dragon deck profile. Alright guys, so starting off with this profile, we of course have 3 Cyber Dragons, because this is a Cyber Dragon deck after all. It's not the heart and soul of the deck, but the deck kind of revolves around the card at the same time. It's kind of weird. There's no really explaining too much of it. 3 cores. That is likely the heart and soul of the deck, because it gets you to all your cyber spells and traps, you know, which continue, you know, your engine. It gets your engine running and all that other goodness. So if you're playing any less than 3 core, I don't know what's going on. 3 hurts, of course, because it gets you your cores back from your graveyard. If you're anticipating a grind game, it gets you back, you know, your new card, you know, Cyber Dragon nachster, and things of that matter. There's not really too much to say about it. I mean, it's a machine duplication target along with core. That's also pretty neat. Nothing else to really say there. And we got, finally, guys, Cyber Dragon nachster. It's been long awaited, guys. We finally got this card. This card is absolutely just fantastic for this deck. It's an extender, it's a machine dupe target, it's a Cyber Dragon. You know, it's essentially just more copies of Galaxy Soldier. You know, the one restriction does, like, kind of hold it back. You know, just, if you resolve that effect, you're locked into machine monsters for the rest of the turn, which means you can't go into your summon sorceress and do other things like that. But if you can wait, if you are actually, you know, in a position to where you can wait and resolve the sword first and all that, you're in a really good spot with this card. Absolutely fantastic. You can get it on normal or special summon. You can get this effect off of Cyber Dragon core on the next turn and revive an Infinity from your graveyard if your board got broken. It's too good, man. 1 Veer, because, you know, it's nice. It's another name, and if you see it in your hand, you're not really complaining too much about it. It's very welcome. It chain blocks for your core, of course. The extra 500 attack doesn't really do too much, but it is a Cyber Dragon name. It allows you to go into Veer or Zeger with other cards that you don't want to use, like maybe your core if you still have the machine dupe in your hand. So yeah, 3 Galaxy Soldier. I was thinking about just cutting this down to 2, because Soldier, if you have Soldier and nachster in your hand, you're taking a lot of -1s, guys. You know, because they both require you to discard a special, And Cyber Dragons as a deck wants to keep cards in its hand so it can keep comboing off. So, but you still want to see this card in your opening hand. You know, weirdly enough, you don't want to be in a situation where you have to search it off a repair plant. Albeit, you know, it's fine if you do, but you'd rather just open it and then just search something else that you already don't have that could potentially contribute to the combo. So, we're playing 17 monsters, guys. We're playing a 42 card deck and 17 monsters. That sounds really, really harsh. But, you know, honestly, with every spell in this deck outside of 3 Called by the Graves, every single spell gets you to a monster. So that's what makes this deck really consistent. Starting those spells off with Cyber Emergencies. If it gets negated by, like, let's say Roy, you can discard a card to add it back to your hand. It gets you nachster and all that good stuff. It's really something you just want to see. Next we got 2 rev systems and 1 repair plant. Okay guys, so I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm pretty sure some of you are surprised because you don't see Pankratops in the main deck. You don't see, what was it? You don't see Thanos Dragon. Oops. You don't see Thanos Dragon in the deck and all the good stuff. And you can play those cards. But, again, as I said before, when it comes to things like Galaxy Soldier and Cyber Dragon Nachster, like, those cards require you to have cards in your hand. So I prefer to just continue to extend combos rather than, there's just a couple cards that I'll show you. So we got 2 res systems because they're not once per turn, and 1 repair plant because you really aren't doing too much. You're not really gonna go past turn 1. That's just, you know, something you're not gonna anticipate, but you can set it with Nightmare Griffin if you are anticipating such, and that's good. So, alright, now guys, now what we got going on here. First we got 3 Tomb Tables and 2 Cybers. Again, Pankratops is good for baiting out interruptions, but this kind of does it without, you know, having you have to commit to your battle phase, because with all these cards, like Pankratops, the one thing you really do not want to do in Cyber Dragons is go and just forfeit your battle phase. That's one thing you don't want to do, because Cyber Dragons really excel and shine through the battle phases. Battle phase is actually how you win with this deck going second. This is a deck that wants to hard go second, but can go first. And I'll end up showing you that a little bit later, but 3 Tomb Tables and Tomb Cyber, because Tomb Cyber still makes Mega Fleet, and it automatically can deal with negates, like, let's say against a deck like Salamangreat, to where they have to use Roar to stop this. So you essentially got Roar out of the way without even committing that normal summon, which is huge. You know, you want as many ways to deal with cards without committing that normal summon. So Pankratops and Kaijus are really good, but this keeps cards in your hand, and it adds spell counts for engage. You know, you got 3 engage, 1 Hornet Drones, and 1 Jamming Waves. Now, the reason why I love this package, like engage with the Tomb Tables and the Tomb Cyber, is so good. It racks you up so much card advantage that, you know, you're going to force your opponent to use negates on these cards. If you open a Tomb Table and an engage, like, the game is basically over. It's essentially over. I think I've said it before, but Hornet Drones is automatically 2 machines on the field. It's automatic Cleafort Genius. It's another stepping stone towards Summon Sorceress. Even if you don't grab back the Hornet Drones, if you really want to bait out back rows because your opponent is still just complacent and setting, keeping their cards set, then you can just grab the engage instead and grab Jamming Waves to get you another draw and threaten the back row to kind of force it out that way. And you still have monsters on the board. See, the thing I like about this over the Pankratops is this essentially accomplishes the same thing in terms of dealing with negates and all that, but it keeps the monster on the field. It keeps board presence, which is very, very important. Because, you know, if your opponent isn't really using negates on your engage or your Kagaris, you know, you can easily get this, deal with a card, make Cleafort Genius, and deal with another card. Cleafort Genius is nothing to laugh at in this format, especially since you still have Thunder Dragons running around. Of course, you have to play 3 Machine Duplication. Got those nice ulti first, even though I don't have the ulti for Cyber Dragons. It's kind of like a mid-rarity kind of version of Cyber Dragons, because Cyber Dragons is a deck to where if you try to max it out, it's one of the more expensive archetypes out there to max out because, you know, yeah. But anyway, Machine Duplication, very, very crucial, very, very key, very good. If you see multiples in your hand, it's still alive, no doubt. Overload Fusions, because you really want to see this card. This is a card you really want to see, especially if you're made to go first. Now the National's a card, there might be more Cyber Dragon decks in the mix, guys. I know people do play Cyberload Fusion, and it is a quick play, so you can use it in the battle phase, but honestly, Overload Fusion is just a lot more versatile in a lot of respects. It doesn't really lock you into machines for starters. It doesn't lock you into just attacking fusions, but again, you do play Cyberload during the battle phase, but if I'm going off in my main phase, I'd rather see Overload than see Cyberload, if that makes any sense. Even though Cyberload can be searched off of core, but at that point, you know, if I don't already have Repair Plant, I would just search Repair Plant or what's his name, Rev System, or you know, Emergency. Either of those. I guarantee you, I didn't open all of them. So, yeah, guys. 3 Call by the Graves. Alright, so this card is incredibly important for this deck. And let me show you why, guys. This card right here, let me tell you something, guys. People wait. People will not respond to your Cyber Dragon core. People are letting this card go. The reason why is because, okay, any smart player knows that if I just normal summon Cyber Dragon core, if that's like my first monster that hits the board, you know, then the Machine Dupe is readable. It's either Machine Duplication or, I forgot what the other card was, but it's so readable because, you know, nobody in their right mind is just going to summon a core and pass turn. That's something you're not going to do. So if a core comes out by itself, then this is a very, very readable play that you have Machine Duplication in your hand. So they'll let this go and then wait for you to activate Machine Duplication, and then they respond with an Effect Veiler or an Infinite Impermanence, and that really, really sucks. That turns off core, and you're forced to just summon all your cores instead of your Cyber Dragons from your extra deck. Call by the Grave is really, really needed. You really do not want your core getting hit by an Effect Veiler or an Infinite Impermanence. Although Call by the Grave honestly can't do anything about Impermanence, but that's something else entirely. Last spell, we have Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn, again, you just want as many ways to put bodies on the board and bait out negates in the process as possible. You know, again, Pankratops and the Jizukuru are really good, but they don't, like, contribute to much. They don't keep bodies on board while you're still accomplishing the same thing in terms of baiting out negates. Now, we are main decking 1 copy of Cyber Network. This is really, really weird because, yes, it is a Cyber Dragon deck. This is a deck that wants a hard go second. You do not want to see this in your hand. But, in a little bit, going second is about to be viable once again. If you are made to go first, and you see Overload Fusion in your hand, you are definitely going to want to search this and link off your, just use your entire hand up, link into, like, let's say a Summon Sorceress, Overload Fusion everything out of your graveyard, make Rampage, blow this up, resolve the effect, and summon everything that's banished, and you basically just won that game. That's essentially what Network does. Network essentially enables you to go first and just make a big ass, just uncraftable board. And it's really, really strong that way. And I'll end up showing you guys combos regarding Cyber Network in the next video. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Extra deck is kind of straightforward. First, we're going to start with the fusions. We got Mega Fleet because we're playing Cyber Dragons. We don't have Fortress in the main deck, or in the extra deck, and that's because you're not really playing against too many machine decks, but we will start seeing a lot more Orcus come Dark Neostorm, of course, because she Orcus to Girsu, all that other good stuff. Even against Orcus now, Mega Fleet's good. If they make Azathoth and all that stuff, you can still contact out the Sork and use Mega Fleet and crash the Azathoth. I would crash the Azathoth and not the Rusty, because you can't use Rusty as link material for Boral Sword. So Rusty kind of sits there. So there's not really too much to worry about there. Next, we got 2 Rampages because we're playing 3 Overload Fusions. If you see multiples, you really want to resolve multiples. This effect is not once per turn, guys. So, you know, don't think just because if you summon this and try to use the effect of pop cards, if it gets negated, that's fine. If you have a second overload, then you can drop another one and go at it again. You have a second shot, a second chance, you're good to go. Next, for the Exceeds, we got 2 Nova, 2 Infinity, and 1 Pallades, because you want to go first and you want to just go and set up Nightmare Griffin co-linked up with Zeger, Infinity, and Pallades down on the side. That's generally what you want to go for. If you're going first, of course. If you're going second, then you know you're good. Now, last for the links, we got Zeger. Of course, you kind of need to play it. It's Cyber Dragons, guys. Next, we got Kagari, Kaina, just in case. If we, you know, just in case there's a monster that we're trying out that we may not be able to, we can just use that to just kind of turn it off. But against Salamangreat, it doesn't really do too much because you're just going to link off things to make Heat Leo and things like that. But this is why we play 3 is because you're going to Hornet Drones for the Kagari and grab Hornet Drones back and play it again. Immediately link this off in a Kaina, and then immediately link off the Hornet Drones token to Shizuku, and then you will go ahead and link these bad boys off for Cleafort Genius. That is the other link we got up in here. Nice rarity bump, by the way. We love rarity bumps. So, yeah, guys, Cleafort Genius is a really, really nice card to bait out negates. It's completely unaffected by Rage, Roar, and all the Sky Striker cards. No Widowmakers, no none of that. Yeah, it's just an all-around fantastic card, and it's just really good to just link climb and step up into Summon Sorceress, because Summon Sorceress just heavily extends your plays, and then you can make things like Nova and summon out your Zeger that you used earlier in the combo to probably step up into Sork, and then just link this off in one other monster and make a Nightmare Griffin. So you'll have a Zeger and a Griffin, and Zone 2 is up here, and Zone 1 is right here, and then that's how you make your Nova up top with your Pallades, and they're all linked up so they can get their effects, and your opponent may have a hard time actually being able to use any effects because I got an Infinity just right above the Griffin, and you know, any link monster over here isn't touching anything unless it's actually pointing to the Sork in the middle. So that's it for the extra deck, guys. Side decks. Now we got Pankratops. Pankratops for, you know, those decks like, you know, of course, Striker, Salamangreat, you know, Guru, Ultra Guys, just Floodgate dot decks in general. You don't really use this against heavy monster decks because Cyber Dragons take care of that anyway. So now we got 2, just curious, we got a Cyber L10, and this card right here, first off, these 3 cards, Thunder Dragon, of course, automatic Cypher Thunder Dragon. This card clears the entire board. It gets around Colossus. It gets around Sunlight Wolf and the Balinks being in the graveyard because it sends the cards to the grave. It doesn't destroy. Really, really solid. It forces negates if you kind of didn't already force out the Roar in the first place. Real nice. So those are going second cards. Next you got going first cards, because again, you're playing Cyber Dragons. Your opponent's probably going to make you go first. Games 2 and 3. Now, the reason why we have 3 is because this is something you want to open. You don't want to search this with core. If your opponent knows that they're going to make you go first, they might innocently you side this. They might hit your core with a hand trap, you know, and not wait for the machine duplication. So this is something you really want to open. And the reason why is because if you open this, then you can search your network if you already opened Overload Fusion. And so you got all kind, you make a big board and you have the interruptions to boot. That's really cool. And when it's destroyed while set, you can just add a cyber spell or trap from your deck to your hand. So that's pretty good. Next, this is a little Triff special, but it's honestly really effective in a deck like Cyber, especially if your opponent is not prepared for it. But 2 Waking the Dragons, and we're gonna side out a Pallades and side in the Durandal for this, because if you don't see, let's say, your Overflow, but you see Awaken the Dragon, then you can use Durandal to force your opponent to change their effect to destroy this Awaken the Dragon, which immediately activates the effect and summons any monster out of your extra deck, which we have 2 of. We got Exterio for Guru, Striker, and what was it? Yeah, Guru, Striker, and like one other deck. I think it was like Altergeist. And we got this for Thunder Dragon and Salamangreat, because Salamangreat can't out this, and all that good stuff. So that's 14 side decks. The last side deck is going to be Khmer Tech Fortress Dragon. Again, you want to have something against machine decks. If your opponent, if you find out you're mirror matching your opponent, just go ahead and side that in and just make them go first. They'll set up a board, and then you'll just slurp their entire board away and make Fortress and just go about your day. Just like that. Not only that, but again, Orcus, guys. Orcus, doing Girsu, all of it. So that's it, guys. That is main, extra, and side deck. I wasn't really thinking about doing side because I was too afraid of the time it was going to take to do this. But yeah, so after this, we're going to do some combo tutorials for Cyber Dragons with or and without nachster, and then we're going to do some test hands just to see what kind of boards are being put up, you know, why we play the Sky Striker cards in general and all that. Then we're going to work on the Infinity tracks, you know, the deck profile will be coming up, and then the test hands for those. And then the deck after that, which by then it should be ready, the deck I'm probably the most excited for, Plants. Plants, guys, get ready for it. We got Jasmine, so yeah, I already got WinCon already established. I just need to make it a lot, you know, it's consistent. I just need to make it more resilient. That's all. So let me know what you guys think about the Cyber Dragon deck profile. You know, is there anything you liked? Is there anything you didn't like that, yeah, could use some feedback? Just let me know in the comments below. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. This is J Money, and I am.
And